Expect called the ready. We live in a time where we question our frame. When they ask us what our rights are, they say, yeah, don't need them. What a mistake that is to say. We live in a land we ought to be free. It's not seeming that's how it is shaping to be. The Constitution is supposed to guide us. Our government is taking it away and trying to deprive us. Our kids are taken every day by CPS agents looking for prey. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. We have found the one and only solution. There's a couple of people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is their show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher is abolished all the way. He's been here for years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together, they making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. We all admit the times are hard. No little children in the front yard. Tiff and Punisher are fighting so hard. They are waging war, on their side is God. They don't stop if they get in trouble. They are fighting for the children, double trouble. The strength they need, they get from each other. They have each other's back like sister and brother. They are Tiff and the Punisher, saving the families from corruption. They want you to join their movement, no repercussion. You need to learn a thing called the Constitution. Inside that document is our solution. CPS, we have your number. We are coming for you, hear our thunder. Your fate is sealed, have a nice day. You won't break another family. No more trauma for kids, that's like blasphemy. Keep your thoughts to your own ideals. Soon enough you'll be clicking your heels.
Family is the most important thing we have.
It's about time we stand up for the kids.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all futures held up by thin ties. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
Yeah. It was a long time since I heard that song.
It's my ringtone.
Do you get sick of it ever when people keep calling you? Are you like, God, I hate that song?
No, I love that song.
Oh, man. I do too, but I don't have it as a ringtone.
Well, it's my ringtone.
That's great. That's so good. I just can't wait till you're riding with the Jeep top down and you're going, Tiff and the Punisher Warrior anthem.
Well, I'll probably be playing it again soon because remember I told you I went to that one meeting. Well, now they changed the goal again from kinship placement to reunifying with Dad.
Oh, all right.
So I'll be going with Dad this time.
Is that a win? Is that a win?
Absolutely, it's a win.
Well, that's good. That's true. Hey, what happened to I don't even know if I should ask this on the air, but our friend that worked so hard, and then she doing all right? What's up, everybody?
Which one?
Our one that worked really hard about getting everything back, and then some things took place.
I don't know. You'll have to ask me after the show.
Yeah. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend after your birthday and everything?
Yeah, I got all kinds of little stuff from my
Shout
little
out.
girl.
So you can send us an email at CPSV Hunting Justice. But you know what? I'm gonna change that right now. Stay tuned. I'm gonna tell you how you can download the song. So you gotta watch the show and do that. We do have our website is up. Somewhat it's still under construction, but it's up and running. So cpsbreakingnews.com. And you guys will be able to get all what you want there and then some. So make sure you guys check that out. And I'm planning on putting the downloads on that site, so you will be able to download the song from there. So cpsbreakingnews.com. Check it out. Like I said, it's still under construction. I'm working my ass off to get it all up and running so it can have all the good features and everything. So we'll be that'll be coming your way, or it is yet your way. You just get in there, chime in. We have all kinds of cool stuff that's coming up in there. So yeah, we got that going for us. So I finally got that part somewhat done. So that's good. Yeah, you know, it was good. It was good. Did you do anything special over the weekend?
No, and it's about to get real loud in here. So if you want to bring our guest on, bring him on.
I'm going to bring our guest on. Everybody, here we go. Who we got behind here? Coming in with us to join us tonight? Come on, you know who it is. Oh, got them.
like a lion on the prowl. Take back our kids, bring them home now.
Mr. Gunner's in the house, baby.
Woo! Boys and girls, boy, we have had an exciting day. We just took out 2 sheriff's deputies today, lost their immunity and all their stuff, all their personal stuff now, and 2 more CPS workers for intimidation and coercion of a federal witness with a federal case. Because they come knocking on the door. We got a report. Called down to the courthouse, the circuit courthouse. Hey, was there any reports or anything that's on the record and all this other stuff? No, nothing there. Wait a minute. Then I turn around and she begins with the questions and some of these other things. And I let her do it. What? I'm over here. I'm setting this CPS brought up like just bait and tackle. I was like, and I go. Then she started asking some more questions. You know what? I'm going to exercise my 5th Amendment right about now, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore, but I need to inform you of something. Are you aware that there is an active federal case against the state and CPS for constitutional rights violations, and perjury was all I gave them? And I says, you are now tampering. All of you have now just committed a felony under the Federal Witness Protection Act that you are now intimidating and trying to coerce because I have filed a federal case. The cop that was at the door, that puppy chest, all of a sudden pounded on my door. All of a sudden he turned off. He goes, I didn't know. I come running off my porch and was pacing in my yard because he knew. Your immunity's been gone and stripped, big boy. You've just lost your job, and all your personal assets are now mine.
Send it.
So I didn't have that, and just handed it out to him. And understand, listen, guys, I was in the house. This old bald head needs a little bit of things. I'm in the shower when they're beating on my door. I had the side shave. I had the back shave. I just didn't have the top, and I had a little soap here. I'm like, who the hell's beating on my door? Put on my bathrobe, naked as a damn jaybird underneath. Open my door. Of course, my screen door's locked. Because you can't come in. You gonna beat on that door. I got the little thing locked. Drop my sash because I have a top screen that pulls down. Can I help you? Well, this lady needs to talk to you. This and this and that, puppy. Well, we're here to protect the children. We're here for the children. I go, what children? There's no children here. You have no probable cause to even knock on my door, let alone there's a sign in front of my house that says no warrant, no entry, which eliminates the possibility if you don't have those. That's called a public notice, ladies and gentlemen. Means you can't beat on my door like that bullshit. And it's visible from the street. No soliciting, no trespassing, all posted, including the castle doctrine with the code below it. You guys can see it right on Facebook. It's on my page. Gunner Evers on Facebook. You'll see the sign. They walked right past it like it's a joke. That's a public notice, people. That's how uneducated and ignorant these people are, not properly trained. You see that sign, you do not have a right to do a damn thing. That is a public notice telling you, fuck off unless you got a warrant or anything else. And whether you like my language or not, guess what? I really don't care because it's called the First Amendment. It's called freedom of speech. And when they come after this shit over here, guess what? You just got snatched up. So then after we go through this, oh, wait a minute. Nobody go nowhere. And then you're going to see I have to go get my phone because I was in the shower, didn't know who it was. Let me go get my phone because I need everybody's information. Darren, key up that video.
I'm working it right now. I'm just pulling it up right this second.
You're going to love this, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you serve CPS, and they know there's me. Pay attention to the male officer that was on my front porch, puffed up,
I can't
that's
wait.
now in my yard pacing back and forth trying to stay cool.
Oh.
Notice he lost all his immunity.
Here we go. Got it right here. All right. Share the screen. There's a problem playing this video. You say it's on your We're gonna get it this way. You say it's on your download.
The video's not up. I emailed it to you guys and stuff like
No,
that.
I have it right here. I have it. I'm just trying to pull it up here.
But yeah, I even called the sheriff's office and everything. I called the court clerks. No, there's no report. So that's it. That's a lie that you brought the police out. In other words, you don't even have probable cause to beat on my fucking door. There's the first part. Second part, I called the sheriff's office. I need the police report you're going to send me and the body cam footage. Freedom of Information Act, or I get a federal judge. What do you mean a federal judge? I get a federal subpoena. Your guys just committed a felony by showing up to my house with CPS.
It's real simple. Let's give names and IDs. Let's see them.
I was going to give you my business card.
That's fine, that too.
Got no video.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And
Officer, your name and badge number?
Deputy Williams, Delta 20.
Ma'am?
Deputy Murray, Romeo 17.
And ma'am, you?
I'm Jessica Lively. I work with the department as well. I don't know what
What's your name? Full name? Jessica Lively. Okay, thank you all. Have a nice day.
Somehow or other, we lost the video on that one. Did it
It's
not
real
come
simple.
up?
Let's give names and IDs. Let's see
No,
'em.
I can't see it on my side.
That's fine, that too.
Can you see it,
Thank
Tiff?
you.
Absolutely. And
Officer, your name and badge number?
Deputy Williams.
Hold on one
No.
second here.
Ma'am?
Deputy Murray, Romeo
Really?
17.
And ma'am, you?
I'm Jessica Lively. I work with the department as well. I don't know what
What's your name? Full name? Jessica Lively. Okay, thank you all. Have a nice day.
Here, guys. Here, let me play it from my side
Yeah,
there.
share it from your side.
Let me see if I can get this here. Screen share.
You better be screen on your phone.
Well, I'm on my computer. Okay, guys. Here's the video. I've already told them everything, this and that. This is where I tell them I need ID from everybody. Look at him pacing in the yard there, guys. His immunity's gone. He knows it.
Hey, you got all that combat gear on, man.
Boom.
It's
Boom.
crazy.
Right there, guys. That's how you handle them. As soon as you take and you have that, start giving them here, guys. I want your name, ranks. Everybody has to identify themselves. You've now just committed a felony, and I articulated that earlier. And that body cam is going to show everything, including the sign in my front yard that they ignored. That is now going to go before a federal judge in a motion. Oh, yeah, with criminal charges pressed against everyone that's in that video for federal witness tampering.
That's awesome. That is freaking great, man.
I really
That
think
means it's working.
that the CPS people had to have known. It's been filed for a while.
It's been in there, whether they know it or not. It has a case number. It is assigned a number. Whether or not there, notifications or whatever is sent, it's not up to there. It's the same thing as ignorance of the law does not negate your responsibility to follow the law. That is up to you. You have full access to all those things. Before you showed up here, you should have double checked everything.
Hey, maybe they should have done. Yeah, right. They should have done their homework, man. Maybe they shouldn't just jump to conclusions. When CPS says jump, maybe they should check on what's going on.
Oh, did you see the male officer going back and forth pacing and everything else in that too?
Yeah.
He knew right then and there. He got, you're screwed, dude. You're screwed. It's like, I'll be contacting the judge and be filing federal charges against you. You're done. You're just done. And then you're going to have your body cam footage and everything else. And now you're going to have to go back to the sheriff and go, how did we not know? Or this, guess what? And they had no probable cause. The fact that they said they had a report, they lied. Where's your witness? Where's your witness that says any of this has even happened? Because it's an absolute, this is fabrication. This proves and strengthens my federal case of how corrupt and how you're willing to lie, even to law enforcement. How much
That's
do you
it.
think sheriff's office is going to trust CPS now? You just got a couple of their officers taken in. They're going to have to go home. That guy's going to have to go home to his spouse and turn around and say, honey, we got fucked up and I'm in deep shit. They're going to take my house. They're going to take everything I got. This dude ain't playing, man. This dude's got a serious case. And then when they go and they actually look at the case and it says treason and sedition on the cover letter, and then they read part of the case and go, oh, crap, he's actually got treason and sedition. What did we get into? At the same time, I told him, I said, so you better let everybody know. Don't come around. Don't mess with my family. Don't do this. Don't do that. You are now notified. Whether or not here, you better pass the word. They come out.
Hey, Gunner, why don't you tell people what happens? Why don't you tell people if they get involved with this case with us, what happens, or with you, what happens? What do they have to do when they send the affidavit and all that stuff?
So what we find out from the affidavit and everything else, when you file your affidavit, yes, they cannot physically harm you. Okay? Physical harm. The rest to prove for your kids and everything else, which is where we encourage other people, that's where we usually stop with the affidavit. But we encourage you, you now have all the tools by going through the affidavit and working through the 88 bot that we have on the Gunning for CPS Facebook page that's been there, that 88 bot, which is a chat GPT specifically designed for a victim's affidavit. That's all it is. But you can tell it your whole story. Now you can go back in and do a whole nother chat GPT and say, hey, now I want to file my own federal, say 1983 case, for example, and give it the parameters and plug, copy, and paste your stuff in. And it will give you all the forms and you can tell it to give you all the forms and everything else that you need to fill all this other stuff out. And then you plug in the affidavit that you filled out along with the letter that we send back to you saying you are connected to this case, which joins them together and puts them together. And then now we're part of a bigger picture. Now you can file for your own TRO and file your own case, but that's where you have to know the details of your case. That's why we don't get involved in that, because we're not attorneys, we're not advocates. That's where you're on your own, but there are so many resources and other people that are helping people. And I love this because we have a lot of people that follow my page that are helping other people file their case. And we actually have several cases that are actually being filed. And some of them are getting their kids back with the TRO because of what was done, because it's a constitutional rights violation. But you have to know to articulate these things and educate yourself, which is why our show the past couple of weeks has been going on and teaching and going over what some of you may not know is your constitutional rights every week. Darren and I think 2 weeks ago, we went through the first 4 amendments of the Constitution and explained it as far as the legal aspect with actual modern world examples of how this applies and what it means and what it covers, such as the First Amendment and how that stuff goes. And then Sharon was on with me last night that we talked about the psychological aspect of this, where all of you are going through all this freaking out dealing with CPS. It's not just CPS, it's your rights that are being violated. And this is the PTSD that gets it from dealing with that. Is it's not just CPS, it's the violation of your constitutional rights is the issue. That's the basis of this. And so we went through the first 4, and then we covered, like I said last night, the psychological aspect. But there's so much to cover. I mean, the first and the second, we went through the Second Amendment. Listen, if somebody violates your rights, and you have a right with your Second Amendment to defend your home. If somebody comes in and breaks in, understanding immunity and where things stop and where things start. If somebody, I don't care if they work for the state, I don't care if they work for the government or anything else, if you don't have a court order or a proper warrant that's properly done, and when we talk about a warrant is done where it has an attached affidavit of truth that somebody has firsthand seen and can testify before the judge or give a story of facts saying that they have personally firsthand witnessed something. And then it has to be signed by a properly articled judge that has the authority to actually sign a warrant. because not all judges and magistrates have that power.
No, you're not.
Educated, because there's a lot of them signing warrants that don't have the power, and they figure just because they sit on that bench, well, I've got the power of everybody else. Wrong. You're in Article 1. You got to be an Article 3 judge. And then you go through the whole the whole course of these things. Well, does it have the seal? It has to be signed by a judge. An affidavit of truth has to be attached to it. Then you have to have the court clerk's seal on it with the court clerk's signature. And you'll look at how they're written, because we've had issues even in West Tennessee of things and in other places that people have said, look, the court clerk filled this out. That's not even the judge or magistrate that signed that. And the handwriting's the same damn thing. They cannot legally do that. That is not a legal warrant. A court order still has to have probable cause, and the judge has to have the authority to even allow them in the house. An Article 1 judge does not have those powers unless duly elected by Congress, not by the state, by Congress, to do this. And this is what we're teaching everybody, is to go through those things and understanding those rights and how they apply. And we got through the first four, and then we covered, like I said, the psychological aspect, but then we spent a lot of time on the Fourth Amendment, what it covers. The Fourth Amendment doesn't just cover your home. It covers a hospital room. It covers a motel room. It covers your RV camper. It covers your car. And all those things have to have the same priority as getting in your house. If not, they're not supposed to be in there. And then fruit from a poisonous tree applies. If any of these rights have been violated, anything after that point is not even admissible in court. But guys, check out our show too, this coming up Sunday, where we pick up where we left off, and we're going to start with the Fifth Amendment, and we're going to go through the Constitution and teach you guys with real world examples of what's right and what's wrong. We may have videos, we have other things.
The Constitution is going around.
Guys, back to it. There's no joke. This is why Trump called out, as well as Pam Bondi did, about these administrative law judges that comes into this. Can an administrative judge sign a removal order? Well, let me ask you something about this. Do they even have jurisdiction to do this? Because what happens? It's you against the state, right? That's what it says on your paper, the state up versus you. Let's go back to the Constitution. Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2. In any case where the state is plaintiff or defendant, the federal Supreme Court has original jurisdiction. Your state ain't even supposed to be hearing your family court case. They don't even have jurisdiction.
Right.
It's supposed to be the people. Some of them are supposed to say the people of the United States. I think those are the federal ones. But your state cannot be your accuser. Neither can it be a witness.
How have you injured something that is an entity and not a human? There's the other part.
You can't.
And then we've exposed them that they're all doing it as businesses. They all have a DUNS number. They're operating as companies and businesses. There is code and statutes, federal codes and statutes, that says businesses cannot act on the behalf of the government.
Yep.
You can't be in business and be that.
And the government has no rights. It doesn't have a heartbeat.
And the only way that the state can deal with you is through contract law.
What? What, Darren?
It's got to be a live person. It's got to be a live person with blood going through their veins.
This is what we are exposing in this case. All of this is coming out. And one of our witnesses, to turn around once again, is Pam Bondi, that's going to be up there. Why? She's DOJ to ask the question. Why are you not going after these people criminally when here's the evidence? If you needed the evidence, here you go. We have plenty of it for you. And we'll tell you where to look for everything else. Why? Because they have to maintain those evidence. I can give you all the judges you want and magistrates across this country. Every CPS organization, all of them. And the federal government does have the power to completely shut down an unconstitutional entity within the state. Absolutely. And arrest everybody and charge them with treason and sedition. That's why they're doing stupid shit, knocking on my door, thinking I'm ignorant. Oh, this guy ain't got no sense. We're going to do this and that, or we're going to check in on him and this. And guess you ain't been paying attention. You best go get your dunce cap and go sit your ass in the corner because you just got served.
Yep.
You just lost everything. And now that cop is over here looking at these CPS because they don't give a shit. They're a bunch of 20-year-old little fucking, if you've seen those in there, those kids ain't even over 30. Either one of them. You just cost both those officers, both of those deputies, everything they have personally and their bond. Because what's the charge for federal witness intimidation? It's a felony, but because there's 4 of them, oh wait, we're going to step that up.
Mm-hmm.
It's called conspiracy. They conspired with the sheriff's department to what? Commit a felony.
Yeah, I think that's 10 years.
Yeah, mandatory.
Yeah, I think it's a 10-year sentence.
Uh-oh. Don't make any plans.
Fourth Amendment violation because she was asking questions. And so was the officer on private property. And federal case law says asking questions on private property is a Fourth Amendment violation of seizure. It's already on the books and it's never been overturned. Uh-oh. Looks like all of a sudden you've got to guess what? Looks like the local sheriff's department, even though they were going to get at it even more, looks like they just made the hit list. The whole department. Because you sent somebody out. Now, wait a minute. Why are deputies out here if there's no criminal activity? Oh, this is a civil matter, isn't it? Is it a civil or criminal matter? Because there's been no crime and there's no civil matter. So there was no justification to even be at or on my property whatsoever, other than fabricated lies. You just proved my point again. This is the mass corruption.
When they came,
the look on their face.
When they came here, I said, "You are not here." I said, "This is a civil case," something to that effect. I said, "You're only here to protect her." He said, "You're right. We're here to protect her because people like to do stuff." And I said, "I'm not going to put my hands on her."
Tell me then where you show anywhere in my history I have done anything violent to anybody. And if you're watching my shows, you said that somebody could take it.
Well, easy.
Yeah.
Say that.
In that direction.
Once again, we've educated people on their constitutional rights, and it's dependent, not me threatening. But if you violate my rights, the Constitution guarantees I have a right to defend my home. 100%. Regardless of castle doctrine or anything else, federal case law, that's state shit. You're talking about constitutional rights violations, but I have an active case number, and you just fucked up.
Yes, they did.
So now the judge is going to love this one. Wait a minute. You had no probable cause to knock on his door. He had a public notice right there that you walked past. You had no probable cause. And you begin to question him again on private property, that from the reports and everything else that has happened before. In the other case, yes, this is a repeat offense. Because why? Well, Your Honor, look at the stuff we turned in. It says right in their own policies and procedures and training manuals, they have a right to come on your property. They have a right to come into your home. It's published, Your Honor, in their own stuff, and to question you and or your children. And there's nothing you can do about it. Your Honor, that's treason and sedition right there, because you're using state and federal tax funds to train people to commit constitutional rights violations. That means every time an officer, a city police officer, especially in the state of Tennessee, with my case, or a sheriff's deputy has assisted CPS in doing those things, they are now on the hook too, and they have conspired against you, which is a higher charge for conspiracy. Now you're hammered, and they're going to open the books in Tennessee. Why? That's what Pam Bondi's going to do. And go look at all of it. Why? Because, and this has been going on for over a decade here so far that we have tracked with evidence. Now, what are you going to do? All the judges, and oh, well, they didn't know. Well, Your Honor, you looked at the CPS report. Why didn't you look at it and go, I see you were in the house. Where was your court order or warrant? And you didn't have one? Oh, well, they let me in. Do you have proof? Do you have camera? Do you have anything? Otherwise, it's hearsay, and that's not the standard you have to meet because it's a federal standard. Did you have a body cam that they let you in? Did they feel threatened or intimidated? Did you give them full disclosure that they have the right to turn you away, that it is an optional thing, that it's not mandatory? But they're not trained that way here in Tennessee, and that we have the hard evidence to prove it. So when we talk about treason and sedition, it's not a joke. We're going to put you right before a military tribunal, and when they decide what they decide, guess what? You get 5 choices on how you get to die. I'm done playing. And it ain't me that's going to do it. It's going to be the Kraken. And if you don't know what the Kraken is, oh, you thought alligator Alcatraz is just going to be used for illegals, didn't you? Didn't you? What about all the CPS workers and the judges and the magistrates and all the people that have committed treason and sedition? They are already doing this up here. We're here, and guess where we're going to meet? Right here in the middle.
Well,
and all of a sudden they're going to go,
what do you got, Tiff?
You would think, but we all know how attorneys are too, right? You would think that they know that the United States Supreme Court has said social workers have to follow the 4th and the 14th Amendment, period, in
they
the
don't
story.
care.
Well, we know they don't care.
No. And they tie you up. Listen, this is the conversation that we've had here. I had one person that took and actually asked me, said, listen, I talked to my attorney. I says, okay. And they said they don't know if that be a smart decision or anything else to get involved in this federal case because it may take and mix things up.
Sound familiar?
And this and that. I says, I go, well, let me explain something. One, you know what you need to do? You need to ask that attorney whether or not he has a federal license, because if he doesn't have a federal license, he just committed a felony of practicing law without a license. For him to give federal advice, he has to have the license. He or she has to have the license to do so. Otherwise, that's practicing law without a license. Federal law. There's 2 different licenses. Okay, a state one and a federal one. And actually, there's a subcategory on the state one. There's a public one and a private. So if you've got your GALs out there subcontracting and working and getting paid by the state, hope you got a public license there, cupcake. Otherwise, you just screwed up. Oh, wait, you didn't think I knew about that as you're watching this and going, oh, God, he knows about it. Oh, I know about your bonds, your bid bonds, your security bonds, your performance bonds, your insurance, and all the forms. I know all how you make profit off this. And all of it's going to be put on the federal record, which means what? That's also another conflict of interest, which also means what? Rico, baby! Rico Suave!
I should make one of these little memories for you, but put a garden around
it. Hey. I mean, hey, Gunner, can you help write up a 1983? Listen, Dr. Death, there are a lot of people. One is Amy Henry that is on Facebook. She is she takes awesome notes. She does a lot of things. She runs it through a lot of different things. She's doing very good. There's a lot of other parents that are filing their own form and they're learning as they go. But the idea is get an education on your constitutional rights first, because that is the focus of, if you file a 1983, is your constitutional rights violations. And until you understand that or articulate that to any kind of AI or anything else, it's not going to know. You're going to have a lot of your feelings in there. Get your feelings out of that. You need to be focused on entering the home, how you were talked to, coercion, intimidated, all these things. Hey, I signed they forced me to sign a contract. I felt intimidated or scared to do that. That goes under contract law. Okay. That's still a constitution. That's one thing that goes as a subcategory, but your main focus is your constitutional rights violations. Everything else is secondary. And when you focus on that, especially people from Tennessee, if you look from the way we filing, we didn't just file against the actors in our particular case. Our team is a bunch of brilliant, just assholes. And we said, forget this, because we said, nope, I don't want just your actors. I want your entire state, because now I got you for policy procedure. Now I can call for treason and sedition, because now I can prove not just my case, every case in the entire state is now considered a felony and will be investigated. Now, people asked about the affidavits. Once this trial is going and over, all of the evidence and everything else that we will present in the case will be handed over to the Department of Justice to follow up with criminal prosecutions for all 50 states. That's the point that we're trying to make. We're simply saying that one state is part of a national network of this is happening in all 50 states by the same training, the same policies and procedures, the same printed material and everything else. It's all in there. We have it all. We've already turned most of it, a lot of the stuff, over to the FBI. They already have this stuff. They just don't have some of the missing pieces, but they decided to wait on us. Well, why don't you, we're a little busy taking care of the rest of the nation. Why don't you just file your civil case and they get it here? And then everybody says, well, what if they do this and that? You really think I'm stupid enough just to keep everything on one computer? You think everything's just in this state? You lost your mind. You think everything's in this country? You done lost your mind. There's a reason it says on my credentials, international freelance journalist. I can go outside the country and I'm recognized, and I can store stuff offshore. And you don't know how I've done it. Understand? Everybody goes, oh, well, it's digital, digital. Tiff, I guess they don't understand us old dinosaurs and stuff like that, because you don't think I don't know how to send something to somebody, a package here, a package to another state, a package to another friend, and then here, everything's paid for. Here's something in a box. Send it here, 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 and here. You got a little bit here, you got a little bit here, and then here, send this one internationally, and then send it, and it's all stamped and approved and everything else. All you got to do is drop it in the box. And it don't even have a name or a sender on it, but everybody knows that it's coming, but it's already out of the country. So what are you going to do, big boys and girls? You come after me, the evidence is all over the place, let alone being international. I believe these things will qualify for crimes against humanity, which may also include a hearing at this little funny place called the World Court, called The Hague, with all of you. Besides the treason and sedition, oh, we're playing stuff. How you like them apples?
I love them.
See, when you thought Sun Tzu says in The Art of War, while my enemy is strong, I make him think that I'm weak while I'm gathering up resources and making myself strong until my enemy becomes so arrogant. They don't send their full force. They become arrogant. They only send one or two of the thing, thinking it's going to be an easy slaughter, until they are then overcome and overtaken by the resources and everything else, because you were too arrogant and stupid. Here's the thing. You let me live. You gave me time. The worst thing you could, and Sharon's back here, and I know she's on here, she said, she'll tell you the same thing. That's the worst thing you could have ever done for me, is give me time. Give me time. and watch me take and come up with it. Watch me put my resources. Watch me network. Watch me do this. That. And Tiff's the same way. Darren's the same way. Hey, we're going to pull from this. Hey, we're going to pull from this. And that's the same thing we're encouraging everybody else to do is start talking to each other. Start helping each other because it's about we, the people, who are the government. All these other fools that are doing this crazy stuff are what? Elected and appointed officials and actors. They have no power but what we give them.
That's
And
right.
we have the right to take it back.
Yep. People need to start doing that. I mean, our president has given us everything that we need.
We have everything.
And he's given it. And, he's just waiting, man. We need to step up as the people. And take this back.
The Trump administration knows we're coming. They're fully aware we're coming. They're sitting here waiting on us to come.
Do you think the American people have realized that this is up to us now? Like Trump is taking it as far as he can take it. It's up to us now to finish this up.
It's about we the people. We should have the damn voice to turn around and tell people, hey, this is messed up. Everybody, when's Trump going to do something? When's this going to do something? When you going to get off your ass and wipe your own butt? Welcome to America. Red, white, and blue. You think you're going to sit here on your rights and everything else for everybody that died just to give you a shot at freedom with our veterans, our soldiers, our Marines, our Navy, our Chair Force? Yeah, I said Chair Force. Or our floaties for Coast Guard? Yeah, I'm breaking balls right there. All these people that have donated and sacrificed their lives throughout this country. Families, my family history has a long history of military service in this country. Long. So does my wife's. We understand what it means, but that also means we have to fight for our shit here at home. When we say we've had enough, it's time to stand up and come together. If you're getting bullied, listen, you guys ever watch the movie? I know Tiff has, but the movie Ants with that and Grasshopper, with the grandkids. I know Darren's probably seen it too. The grasshoppers are the elected and appointed officials and actors, and they're scared when the ants all get together and realize the power and numbers they have. They're scared shitless of what's getting ready to happen. They know it's coming, and it's just a matter of time. And now everything's been locked down. You can't go nowhere, big boys. You can't leave the country. How much stuff has come out just even in this short? I mean, how many months are we into this? What, 7 months?
Yeah.
8 months?
6 months.
Look at how fast this country has changed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I've heard all sorts of people whining and bitching and moaning, and even people coming to me about their affidavits. Well, I need this, I need that. I'm not going to do it. You want your damn kids? Fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
Fight for them. Make a difference that you've done something in your life. Shame on you if you won't fight for your children. Shame on you if you won't take and educate yourself. That shows exactly what kind of, to me, in my opinion, shows me exactly what kind of parent you are. Well, on this, then take the time, get off the YouTube, get off the TikTok and everything else, and go do and spend that time on research and educate yourself. Do the thing that public education failed to do. Educate yourself. I don't have time. I have to work, and I have to this, and I have to feel sorry for myself. I've never seen a wild thing ever sorry for itself. A bird will fly right into a frozen thing and fall dead to the ground, never once feeling sorry for itself.
Way to go, G.I. Jane quote. G.I. Jane, baby.
Listen, that is actually, like I said, I think that's, I'm trying to remember who that, Waldorf Emerson or James Thoreau or one of them. Anyway, they're all jumbled today. Focus issues today. Like I said, I've been dealing with a lot. But what we're talking about is if you want to live free, if you truly want to be free in this country, you've got to be willing to fight for it. You've got to be willing to educate yourself for it so they can't take it away from. That was what they did to us in public education and under the corporation and everything else. The corporation, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, was to make you stupid. So you didn't know your rights, so they could rule over you and oppress you and put you back in chains and slavery. But when you're like this and go, now the people are waking up and they're learning things and all these other things that are going on. People are waking, oh, wait, you violated my rights. Oh, wait, you did this. Wait, the courts are messed up. This don't seem right. It's not meant to. You ain't going to get no justice in a state courtroom. There ain't a state courtroom around that you're going to get any justice. Take it to a federal courtroom and yank the chain on them. And listen, there's even plans. Guys, don't listen to this lie. I heard this lie too, Tiff. You'll love this. I was telling Darren about it. I had somebody that actually went to the court clerks, a federal court clerk, and she says, hey, I need to do a change of jurisdiction because of constitutional rights violations. She actually, the court clerk that was there, informed her, you can't do that without the state's permission.
Yeah. Hey, Gunner, check this out. This is what he's trying to say.
I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. A bird will fall frozen dead from a bough without ever having felt sorry for itself.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was it, Gunner. That was your quote.
It's 100% true. If you want to live free.
So wait a minute, Gunner.
Live free. Yeah.
What did the person say to the clerk?
The person was very clear that it was about it was change of jurisdiction due to the fact of constitutional rights violations, and that the state court didn't have jurisdiction and had to do that. And it's as simple as fill out the form. And it was almost like she was rejecting, trying to reject or talk somebody out of the form. I don't know where. I don't remember what state or what district she filed this in, but she said she had to drive 3 hours to file this in person to hear this from the person. I go, that's a lie, and you need to contact the U.S. Attorney's Office immediately because that person needs to be terminated because that's a lie, and they cannot give legal advice.
Well, not only that, it is the right of the people to access the courts. It doesn't say the state court, the federal, the courts.
Well, Tiff, I'm going to agree with you 100%, and we're going to go through. Give me just a second here, and I'm going to once again. We covered this, and this is covered, and this is a First Amendment covered in the First Amendment. Let me take and show you. It's just that simple, and we're going to go. Let's go through it right here. I mean, let's go back to the Constitution. What's it say? Congress shall what? Shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, which is what we're doing here, or the right of the people to peacefully assemble. Let's read the last part. And to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Right there, guaranteed by the First Amendment. By her doing that, she committed a crime, saying, I cannot have my grievances done. Where do you have your grievances and petitions read? In the other branch of government called what? The courts. The Constitution guarantees
bond number because they're all bonded too.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of education we're going on. Like I said, you need to get into the bonds. You need to get into this. If somebody's doing that, that's why that cop understood. You know, the law enforcement that was here, he knew it. He knew when he took and lost this, your immunity's gone, dude. Both of you, even just standing here. And they've drug you into this. And is there even any of that? Once again, you're now trying to interfere with my First Amendment right violation because I'm making a petition to the federal court for my grievances to be heard, and you're still showing up trying to intimidate and coerce me. The rule when I do that is hands off under the Witness Protection Act. That includes even if you're the plaintiff and you're doing the filing, you're guaranteed that. All your witnesses are guaranteed not to be messed with.
Hey, check this out, guys. I just found this. This is going to verify exactly what we're talking about. Watch this. I just found this. So bear with it, but check this out. Here we go.
Boom.
Wow. Holy smokes, man. Listen to this.
We are not conspiracy theorists. We are conspiracy realists. And right now, the Constitution is under attack. And so are all of you.
They have that fundamental constitutional right.
In other words, is it against the Constitution for CPS or Family Services caseworkers to lie in court to remove your children from your custody and place them in foster care? Let's take a look at the court case.
For foster parents, though.
Parents.
That is true. A guardianship.
And guardianship, not natural parents. It seems to me that as early as the 1940s, the United States Supreme Court has held that there is an absolute liberty interest, a fundamental liberty interest that parents have in the care, custody, and control of their children.
You've got to know your rights. It is your fundamental liberty for the parent to have the care, custody, and control of their children, not anyone else's. Now, if someone else shows up to your home to take your child, remember, they are being incentivized. In other words, they get paid more the more children they take out of homes.
That's been on the books forever. I have a whole bunch of Supreme Court cases I can read from. That's just going to waste a lot of time. They have that fundamental constitutional right. And it cannot be impaired without due process of law.
Legal rights are protected by ordinary law, meaning they can be changed if the legal body of the government changes the law. But fundamental rights cannot be taken away that way. They are constitutionally guaranteed.
Right. What isn't clearly established here?
The fact that what Costanza says, what's not been clearly established in the year 2000 when this removal occurred was the idea that the right to be free from deliberately fabricated evidence in civil child abuse proceedings that result in the deprivation of a protected liberty interest, the same liberty interest that's at issue.
But it's not the same liberty interest because this was a parental liberty interest.
It's a biological versus foster parent.
That's huge. That's gigantic in terms of what somebody could appreciate and understand. How in the world could a person in the position of, we have to take the facts as they're pleaded in the light most favorable, so, we're not trying the case. But how could a person in the shoes of your clients possibly believe that it was appropriate to use perjury and false evidence in order to impair somebody's liberty interest in the continued care, custody, and control of that person's children? How could they possibly not be on notice that you can't do that?
I understand the...
How could that possibly be?
That's a good question. How could that possibly happen? Here's how. The following recording was taken from a phone conversation between a parent and Child Protective Services in Conway, Arkansas.
Hello, you have reached Arkansas County Department of Human Services, Stuttgart location. Arkansas County Department of Human Services, great speaking. Can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering if you can transfer me to a DCFS worker, please.
You want to speak with a DCFS worker?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you ask them? Ma'am, I'm going to transfer you.
Thank you.
Amber?
Yes, my name is Ashley Cooper, and I just had a couple questions.
Okay.
So you know how the internet has like a lot of unfound, untrue things, right? I'm sure you know this.
Uh-huh.
Well, on my Facebook page, I saw the craziest thing, and I just thought to myself, I have to look into this. Like, I just have to, because, I just have to. Anyways, there's people on there like ranting and raving saying that DHS is unconstitutional and this, that, and the other. So I had a girl that had this girl. I don't even know who she is, but she told her story. But when you guys remove children, if I said no, you can't come into my house, you would still have to go and get a court order, correct?
We don't need a court order to get in your house. So we have an investigation on a child that's in your home. We can see that child.
Oh, really?
Yes, we don't need a court order to get into your house.
What if, even under my constitutional rights?
I mean, but still the right of the child. I can let you talk to my supervisor if you want to get a little more with it, but we have an investigation and the child is in your home. We, by law, we have to see that child within the 72 hours of the 24 hours. 9 times out of 10, we would probably, if it was a situation like that, we'll bring the police with us so we'll be able to get in the home with the police officer being there.
What if I said, no, you're not coming into my home under my Fourth Amendment constitutional right for search and seize? You're searching in my home to see if there's anything there, and if you felt that there was, then you would seize the child.
We don't search your home. We're just looking out for the well-being of the child. I mean, you can say no, and then if you say no, we probably would have to go to court, and the judge will order you to let us in the house.
Right. Well, I'm just wondering, like, do the constitutional rights protect me, or is it under the adoption? I was told under the Adoption Safe Family Act, because of that, you guys did not need, like, the constitutional, you guys don't follow that. That falls under another different law.
Let me transfer you to my supervisor.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's why I was calling. Like, it's so gray.
I don't want to give you the wrong information, okay?
Right. No, I totally understand.
So I'm going to transfer you so you can get the correct information, because I don't want to lie to you, okay?
Gotcha. Thank you so much. I'm just wondering, that's all.
Hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
All right.
This is Stacy.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Ashley Cooper, and I just had a couple questions. Crazy questions, actually. But I just have to know, because there's so many people on Facebook talking about crazy stuff. I just have to know for myself. Say you
Okay, Ashley Cooper, what is this in reference to?
Like, say you guys got an anonymous call that... Say if you guys got an anonymous call for Department of Human Child Protective Services, right? And they said, my house is filthy, yada, yada, yada. And you came to my house.
Can I get your phone number in case we get disconnected?
Yep, it is 218-290. Give me one. 3870. Quiet.
Everybody take that number down and give her a call. So good job.
Yes, ma'am.
And where do you live?
I live in Minnesota.
You live in Minnesota, and you want to know if we got a report on you?
No. No. This has nothing to do with reports. I'm asking if you guys got a call on me in Arkansas, right? And they said my house is filthy, environmental neglect, or yada yada. And you come to my home and you say, Miss Brown, we got a report of, this is the investigation, this is what's going on, we need to inspect your home. And I said, no, you need to go to the courthouse and go get a court order or warrant. Does that protect me? Do my constitutional rights protect me in a DCFS case, or does it not?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the constitutional rights do not apply to Child Protective Services.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
That's what they teach.
Why? I thought it did.
It doesn't.
Okay. So basically, you guys can have access anytime without warrant.
Correct.
Gotcha.
That's treason and sedition.
Okay. Is there anywhere I can look this up, or how do I find out about that? Because I thought, constitutional rights are constitutional rights.
Well, you can Google it.
Well, I did. I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
And what was your name again? I'm sorry.
Stacy Johnson.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Their lips are moving, Tiff.
The proposed Parental Rights Amendment will specifically add parental rights in the text of the U.S. Constitution, protecting these rights for both the parents and the child. This is a precedent that has already been set by the Supreme Court, that it's the parent's right to have the care, custody, and control of their child's welfare.
Yep, Troxel.
bitch come to my house, see how far she gets. I don't care if she got the whole goddamn police department with her.
Stay strapped or get clapped, baby.
When they come back to my house, they better have the United States Marines, the Army, the Air Force, and the National Guard. I'm telling you.
It's over. Like I said, I was peaceable when I dealt with what I dealt with, but understand this.
It's not a place, it's a state of mind. Way beyond, way.
But once again, if you know you've got them by the cojones of going, you just committed a felony with federal witness tampering, you don't need a weapon. You don't need a weapon because they already know. Even the caseworkers don't know shit. They're dumb as dog shit. Double D's. Dumb as dog shit. No constitutional education. These are programmed communist socialists is exactly what they are. 100% socialist. And the whole basis of CPS is a social credit system. Well, we heard, fuck off. Because there's a thing called the supremacy clause of the Constitution that will completely obliterate her, that woman on that recording, 100% in a federal courtroom. And for her giving out that information to somebody is actually a felony. That's called deprivation of rights under the color law. That's coercion.
Mm-hmm.
That woman actually on that tape committed a felony. But with misinformation about Constitution, saying that CPS does not have to. Everybody, every business has to. Every elected and appointed official has to. You and I have to.
The people that come here and become national, or the people that come here and want to be American citizens.
Naturalized citizens, yeah.
Yeah. They have to say they will defend the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, these people get on my nerves.
But here's the beautiful thing. When you have, listen guys, when you have the knowledge, you have the power to completely obliterate them with words. No weapons needed. You're now screwed. When I said the words, I have an active federal case and you have just committed a felony of federal witness tampering, which they know is 100% true when it came out of my mouth, they knew right away they were done. Both the officers knew because they have to take an oath. And they understand that federal witness tampering, that's federal. No state likes federals to come in. They hate it. They're scared of getting caught. The good old boy system, being held to the Constitution, they hate it. They fear it. It's their kryptonite. You watch them crumble. Because I guarantee you tonight, if some of them are watching the show and everything else, if they're even catching the show, if not, they're watching my Facebook and all the other things. Hey, watch all you want. Get an education and realize how much you're breaking the law.
That's
I got no problem educating people. Here's the problem. How are you able to, here's my question. How can you serve the public, to protect and serve the public, if you don't even know the Constitution? And then you sit here and strut your stuff with no probable cause to even be at my house, and then try to intimidate and coerce me, and you're forcing me by intent because you were armed. That's armed coercion too. That's another felony. Armed. You have a weapon on you. Do you not, officers?
They had a gun, a stun gun, a baton.
If that's not intimidation and coercion, yeah, I may have weapons, but you don't see me carrying them around to try and force my thing. You shouldn't have been at my house. You violated the Fourth Amendment again.
I wish I was there.
Oh, Tiff, I'd love to just put you on a leash and let you fucking just turn off the leash like a big old fucking dog and let you run around the front yard, and they watch you, your gums and everything else flapping in the fucking wind as you run around the corner, like Hooch, Turner and Hooch. Oh, the big old drool coming. Here I come.
Yep. Oh, they wouldn't have got that far.
And once again, it's knowledge and power that dealt with it, because once you articulated those things and you knew with authority, They knew that I had them. They're done. They now have to go back to their superiors and go, we got a major problem. And then there's going to be an investigation internal of, why did CPS have you there, and all the other things about a false report? Where's the complaining witness? Then it's going to come out that they didn't, and then they fabricated it. And then whoever sent them out and did all that is now, you don't think they're going to take in charge them, because they're going to try and save face with their officers. Now that just made a big black eye. Guess what happened tonight? We just split the sheriff's department, CPS, right in half, right down the middle for criminal activity. They're not going to trust them.
Good.
You should have done your due diligence and act them.
Make sure that you do that Freedom of Information Act. I did mine. I had mine in 3 weeks with both police reports, and they lied to the CPS worker.
They don't even have to. They showed me 2 or 3 days to go ahead. Matter of fact, when I talked to records and I told them exactly what had happened and that the evidence is going straight to the federal judge, boy, their tune changed real quick. Yes, sir, I will. This, as a matter of fact, I'll give you both so you don't even have to transfer department. Here's the email address for each of them. Just put your request in there. We will get those out to you. I says, well, it's either that or you're going to deal with a federal judge. And if the federal judge says that and I'll say I've requested it and they refuse to give it, Your Honor, you got a big problem. And now there's going to be an investigation with the CPS workers that called them out. What was your probable cause to even knock on my door for anything else? Well, we had a report. There was no report. There was nobody that said anything. There was nobody that seen anything. That was a fucking lie. They lied to a law enforcement officer. Is that not also a crime? Yes.
Well, it's not even that. Even an anonymous call is not enough to bring them to your house.
Or get a warrant.
Nope. Already said that.
Suspicion, like I said, as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, Blount County, Tennessee is fully aware. We're in town and we've got a federal case and they about to get knocked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Tiff. You can get right on top of them going, damn, you got knocked the fuck out.
Well, I told all of them that night, you all need a lesson in the Constitution. They need a lesson in inalienable rights, because you were talking about contract law.
Yeah.
One of your inalienable rights is to contract or not contract. You don't have
refuse
to contract.
Yeah. Coercion to contract makes the contract null and void. And deny disclosing all of the information that it's optional or this or that all these things, if you don't disclose those things, if they would have took and turned around and just called or got the information, hey, listen, I'm from CPS. We've got this report and this and this and this and that. And you know, I'd like to know if you need any assistance or is anything wrong or any way that we can be of help. There's where they should be stepping in and saying, let me connect you with some programs. You're struggling with some food, struggling with housing and this and that. Here, let me show you some local programs and other things that are out there to benefit. And using those funds and monies to help families rather than destroy families. Because that's the whole point that they're doing, is that's not the goal. And these children, I'm calling them children because I'm an older man. These 20, 30, under 30-year-old children, fresh out of college, that don't even know how to wipe their own butt or pick their own nose, don't even have children, don't have the first clue to being a parent and the shit you go through as a parent, that all of us that have had kids and our kids are grown, we've seen some shit. Okay? And it's not always pretty. Your kids can't want, well, that's what, to turn around, I've always told somebody, I said, listen, I love my kids, but then there's other times, and so does every parent. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. Hell no. Get your asses out of here. I've had enough of your shit. Fuck them kids. Get the hell out of here. I love you, but get the hell on. I mean, and I'm not wrong in saying that. And those are the people that I say I will get along with, somebody that has that attitude, that understands that about life, than somebody that's all pressy right, because that's where you get that pedo vibe. Somebody that always wants to be, or listen, I didn't care to take a volunteer under AYSO to be a referee, but I had to have some boundaries because I wasn't coaching those. I didn't want to coach those kids. Ain't no way in hell I was going to coach those kids. No, I got my tolerance wasn't that high for dealing with somebody else's kids. I got to deal with my own kids. Why the hell you think I'm gonna deal with all your little assholes? And trust me, and then the parents on top of it. The parents are even worse than some of the kids when it comes to sports. And if you've ever done sports, yep, they're all assholes. Parents are the worst. They are the absolute worst to deal with. Kids, they just want to go out there and have fun and do a few things. This and it's the parents that get over competitive and pushing their children and all the other things. Great, do your best, but leave it on the damn field. Give it everything you got. But this whole thing with everybody getting a trophy bullshit, nah, I don't agree with that. Because in life, there's winners and losers, and that's a cold hard truth.
And if
Sorry,
you don't
hate that
lose,
for you.
you will never know how to win anyway.
No, you'll never know what it feels like to put in the hard work, the effort, and everything it absolutely takes to become that winner. The dedication, the hours, the blood, the sweat, the tears, and that goes for anything in life. It's gonna take work. It's nothing comes easy. I mean, I have these people. I wish I had a silver spoon and everything else. It's not that easy with some of those too that I've known that had a silver spoon. They had better opportunities, but they still had to deal with a different type of shit. Not the same shit as some of us that have struggled and had nothing and to come up, to where we are. But once again, that's part of the fight. And once again, we need to teach our children to become overcomers, to learn from our mistakes and to push on. It's not about you. The idea of raising children, and I have heard all sorts of arguments. Oh no, they'll always need their mom, all that. You know how bad you screw your kids up when they do that and you die? It breaks those children. It destroys them. But when you raise your children to live in a world without you and you give them the skill set to survive this world, that is the best thing you could ever do as a parent. Prepare them. Give them the tools. Even though you're not going to teach them everything, give them the tools, capabilities to get through anything and everything that is thrown at you. Because I would have never figured CPS with all this stuff ever in my life, never had to deal with or anything else till this other situation came up. And once again, it wasn't even handled right because, it was psychological. And then the amount of stuff the courts did, and this, I'm going, what the hell is this shit? I knew just out of common sense that this is bullshit and the rights were wrong. The courts were kangaroo courts. Nothing was followed. Procedure wasn't followed. The Constitution wasn't followed. The rules of conduct wasn't followed. I mean, all these other things. And it was like, there's no way you stood a chance. I mean, when at one time, I think there were 7 attorneys against my one attorney that I had at the time. How is that a fair fucking trial? Let alone there's no jury. So you tell me I got to have this biased judge that they're all buddies. They've all going out getting drinking. They've all been to a certain judge's or magistrate's house for the coke parties. Oh, wait, we ain't going to talk about that or what I know about that, do we? Well, I guess we'll deal with that. The coke parties. Yeah, a little bit of this and that. Oh, I know all about it, Blount County. So do a lot of other people. They're all coming clean to save their butts. See, once you break this cycle, you know what happens? They turn on themselves. And then they devour themselves. I don't even have to do any work. Because you're going to be, it's like rats on a ship. They're going to turn on themselves. And then once that machine, now you start doing that, the whole state over, then the whole nation over. And now you're talking about CPS. You're talking about politicians. You're talking about judges, magistrates, the bar association, and all that stuff starts to consume itself and point fingers. Who's going to be the one to take the fall? We're doing damage control now because you've all benefited for it for decades. Now what? Now you're called to the carpet and it's all exposed and it's put on the federal record. And here's the beauty of it, guys, that you don't understand. Wait a minute. You guys missed something. If this is all put on the federal record as fact in a federal case, that's not an insurrection. If you don't fix this by the court system, we the people under the Constitution, the evidence has now been put on the record. We the people now have the authority under the Constitution to remove all elected and appointed officials, even by force, is what the Constitution says. No, this ain't an uprising. This isn't insurrection, this and that. This is a reckoning. We're going to return to the Constitution. Why? The evidence has already been put on the federal record. Do we want the violence? No, that's why we make our petitions known in the court and give you the opportunity to correct it through our system. But if you don't, how do you think that's going to go over once that's all put on the record and everybody knows all the evidence and all the other stuff, and it's all put in there, as well as the stuff that already the federal authorities have? What's that going to mean? We don't have to justify anything anymore.
That's right. Hey guys, we got to wrap it up. We got Sharon coming up here in a minute.
Yep, I got to go do that. But remember this too, guys, when it comes to that, that's when we remind those that are serving our country of their oath is not to a leader or an organization. Your oath is to the Constitution, and the evidence has been put on the record.
Amen.
Oh. No, they're not going to turn on us. They're going to turn on the elected and appointed officials that are committing treason and sedition. That's what we're seeing in this country, is cleaning up. The onion is being peeled deeper and deeper. There's my point. I'll start off with Darren, and we're going to do I know you like to do the thing of last thoughts.
No, we don't do that here. We don't do last thoughts here.
You don't do it here? What do we do? We just Tiff. Oh, by the way, Tiff, happy birthday. I was watching the show, but I got cut off. So happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you.
All right, guys. We'll be here. Stay tuned for Beauty and Ashes. And don't forget, Gun will be on Sunday. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. But stay tuned, because Beauty and Ashes is on in 9 minutes. Thank you, Gunnar, for coming in tonight. That was great. That was good stuff. We all get educated. We're all educated tonight. So we'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. But Sharon's waiting, so let's do this. Bye, everyone.
When they ask us what our rights are, they say you don't need it. What a mistake that is to say. We live in a land, we ought to be free. It's not seeming that's how it is shaping to be. The Constitution is supposed to guide us. Our government is taking it away and trying to deprive us. Our kids are taken every day by CPS agents looking for prey. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. We have found the one and only solution. There's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is a show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher's abolished all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. We all admit the times are hard. No little children in the front yard. Tiff and Punisher are fighting so hard. They're waging war, on their side is God. They don't stop if they get in trouble. They fighting for the children, double trouble. The strength they need, they get from each other. They have each other's back like sister and brother. They are Tiff and the Punisher, saving the families from corruption. They want you to join their movement, no repercussion. You need to learn that thing called the Constitution. Inside that document is our solution. CPS, we have your number. We are coming for you, hear our thunder. Your fate is sealed, have a nice day. You won't break another family. No more trauma for kids, that's like blasphemy. Keep your thoughts to your own ideals. Soon enough, you'll be clicking your heels. Because you need to go to jail. All of us fathers will be chugging down an ale. The mothers will squeeze their young ones tight as CPS workers are locked down for the night. They had a choice, they didn't and made. Now they spend their days in crates. They should know it's wrong to kidnap. So from all